Can you just stay like that? Don't darken, just stay. Are you gonna stay like that? Or are we gonna be stupid? I'm gonna be stupid. Alright, whatever. Hello, YouTube! My name's Twiggy. And, this is my new channel. Yay! I'm going to do something that I don't think has ever really been done before, or if it has, I haven't seen it. I'm going to review self-published books. It's gonna be fun. There are some self-published books out there that are actually pretty decent. And then there are others, actually the vast majority of them are not very good at all. So we're gonna start off with one of those. Here we go. It's called Unelven. First off, we'll take a look at the cover. It's not too bad, not the worst cover I've seen. It's very obviously just sort of photoshopped together, but it's not bad. The writing's pretty. You know, one of those that would make you think, you know, you'd pick it up, and one of those that you just pick up and be like, oh, this looks kind of interesting. Let's read it. Next we'll go to the back of the book. The back of the book usually being the main selling point of the book. You know, cover makes you pick it up, looks interesting, then you flip it over, read the back cover, and see if it's interesting or not. So let's see if it's interesting or not. Seth enrolls in the Academy of Arcane Arts to become a better spellsword, for his lack of magical knowledge and prowess caused him grief when his friends were slaughtered at the hands of the Thaw Line. The Thaw Line. Do you mean the area around the edge of a pond or a lake that's the Thaw Line? Okay, whatever. Seth is an unelf. Unelf. Can't you just call him something else? A sub-race of elves with a bad reputation. So he is an elf. Called an unelf. Alright. Lonely for his home kingdom of Midgard. Elves don't live in Midgard. They live in Elfheim. Midgard is where the humans live. He must fight the nastier instincts of his people. As soon as Seth makes it to the academy, he is greeted by Professor Aeon, a human boy from Thorondor called Malachite Naples, a compulsive goofball, and Maggie Ghoul, a timid and quiet girl. So, is that 4? Or 3? Is the professor a human boy? I'm so confused. Seth planned to take some time off from the world around him this year to learn a few new spells, but finds himself tangled in plots and intrigue by Ch0, the tyrannical ruler of Tomodkau, who is trying to take the sigil stone of Rettatotsker from him and destroy the Academy of Arcane Arts, along with the watchtower that floats above it. With time running out, Seth must find a way to save himself and everyone else around him. Okay. Sure. And it goes on to be with a bit about the author. A first-generation American-Dutch descent, Hendrik Viskil has been entranced by fantasy and the folklore of his ancestry ever since childhood, reading Tolkien as early as elementary school and Martin soon after. He has been writing short stories for well over a decade, learning literary techniques and skills along the way, and refining and honing his techniques so he can produce the best story possible. Viskil began work on the Unelven series during his junior year of high school and started writing Academy of Arcane Arts soon after graduation. Fair enough. Let's take a look-see. First chapter, or chapter 0. Chapter 0. I take it this is the prologue then? Because usually people don't have a chapter 0, they have a prologue. Is called Letter to a Friend. Magic. What is it? Is it a tool? A means to an end? Does it symbolize power? Could it be abused? Is it unstable? Is it a reason to hate people who use it? Is it a reason to look down on those who do not? Are these questions getting annoying? Are these questions getting annoying? Are these questions getting annoying? Look, if you're going to have a rhetorical question, that's fine. Have a rhetorical question. Just don't have 5. These are questions with no true answer. Yes, actually. A lot of those do. Is it a tool? Yes, it can be, if it is used as such. A means to an end? Yes, it can be, if it is used as such. Does it symbolize power? It depends on the society. Can it be abused? Can anything be abused? The answer is yes. It can be abused. I have used magic all my life, and it has helped me shape who I am. That's nice. Who are you? Magic is within all creatures. Only few have unlocked the means to tap into the secondary life force known as magicka. During the First Era, it was discovered that every being carries within their souls a gate, known as the Sephiroth. Sephiroth? Unlocking the first seal of the Sephiroth. I'm gonna crack up every single time I hear that name, I'm sorry. Allows one to tap into one's magicka. How one unlocks this seal determines what kind of mage one is. If you unlock it through training and will, you are a wizard. If you are born with magic and already had this seal broken, you are a sorcerer. Fair enough. If you use the aid of a being of higher power, such as a devil, you are a warlock. Alright. That's actually a pretty good, concept there. I kinda like that. These titles mean nothing to me. Oh great! So we had that great big explanation of how things work, just to say, oh, by the way, these things don't matter. I've gone through a number within my life. You've gone through a number of ways to unlock your magicka? I thought you could only do it once, kinda like, losing your virginity. Mage, Spellsword, Nightblade, and the most recent Archmage. So you mean names. You've gone through a number of names, or titles. The only difference between an evoker and a conjurer is how they use their magicka. Fine, okay. I'm aware that all of this is common knowledge to you. I simply needed to ramble. So, we have an exposition of the, as you already know, type. If they already know it, then why are you talking about it? Just take out those 2 sentences. Completely. You don't need them. I haven't written to you in some time, so I guess I should bring you up to speed. Oh great. More exposition. I'm currently sitting in my classroom in the Academy of Arcane Arts, a tall ivory tower on neutral ground where 5 countries join at a single point. 9 years ago, amid the chaos in the northern kingdom of Norhal, homeland of the High Elves, 4 archmagi... Magi? Never been able to figure out which way it's said. built the Watchtower to establish peace between the kingdoms, and to fight the new threat coming the continent of Sweet? Sweat? Continent of Sweat. S-W-E-A-T. Continent of Sweat. The thaw line. So what? Are they gonna get me moist? Is that their superpower? Just to make things soggy? If you came to me in my youth and told me I'd spend my twilight years teaching children the ways of magic in a school that holds the kingdom together, I would have slapped you for the thought of something so mad. Times change, as have I. Everyone was afraid of the new threat of the Third Era would be the return of the Chimlian? The Twillet elves. Twillet, not Twilight elves, Twillet. Okay. However, they've been calm since their return from purgatory. I met their king once. He was a well-spoken man, an affable man, even though he is an evil bastard. So, he's Hitler? Ch0 is, as my brother always called him, a magnificent bastard. In fact, he led me to my isolation. I know you're still mad at me for that, but I needed it. My soul has been destroyed, so I hid in the mountains of Nox to regain what I had lost on that fateful day 106 years ago. Never saw anyone. Didn't want to. 27 years later, the Shiklians, Shadow Elves, didn't take too kindly to Ch0's return to Nox, and started the Second Noxian Civil War. This time, there was no Archmage to end the quarrel. I mean, there was one previous to this? Ch0 crushed the Shiklians, and split the island of Nox in two. You know, usually when there's a civil war and one side crushes the other, it's not so much a matter of splitting into two as it is just, you know, taking everything over. Why would he split it if he was able to crush everyone? Tomatkau to the north and Mudao to the south. Some days I wonder whether, if I'd actually stepped into the fray, the war would have ended differently. I guess we'll never know. I stayed in isolation until I was given a letter by a courier. Not a very bright man to climb up mountains to the home of a wizard. He's sending a letter. He's a courier. It's what he does. The letter declared that I was to be ambassador for the Shadow Elves to the Watchtower. I threw the boy down the mountainside. Here you go, sir. Here's your letter. Whew. Took me 8 days to get up that mountain, but you know what? What are you doing? Oh God, no! Seriously, why would you throw a messenger? Have you never heard of the saying, "Don't kill the messenger"? Not his fucking fault. Sure enough, the new king of Mudao wanted me to be his ambassador. I had made myself suffer enough, so I took the chance to redeem myself. So, you killed a messenger, random guy, for what you thought was a joke. Okay, so this guy's an asshole. On the council is a representative for every race that lives in our lands, each one from a different kingdom. We're led by Zephian ambassador. Here's the thing. If you're gonna have names in your book, make them pronounceable, please. I mean, I get that it's a book, and usually people are, you know, reading it in their heads and can just make up any pronunciation, but try reading it out loud. If it's difficult to say, it's probably difficult to read. Zephian ambassador, who we refer to as his gildedness. His gildedness! Zephians are informally known as gold elves, since the gods left the holy relic in their kingdom. It represents the power of the gods, as was used to make the sky shine white instead of blue. It's not how that... okay, whatever. They allowed me to work in the Academy of Arcane Arts as a professor and gave me the title of Archmage. Didn't you already have the title of Archmage? I mean, you know, with the whole Civil War Archmage thing. I teach mages of different backgrounds, races, and classes how to use their magicka to their full potential. I teach them to be better than I was at their age. It's kinda what you do as a teacher. Hell? What the frickin' frack? In fact, the new school year is starting tomorrow. We just have to wait for our new students to arrive. I often think of the many magi you and I met in our years of nomadic adventure, and I eagerly wait for the day that the grandchildren will walk through those stone doors onto the Academy's grounds. You remember Ch0, do you not? Of course you do. Why did you fucking ask? The two of you were like brother and sister for most of your childhood. Her daughter is a professor here as well. I have my suspicions about the father, though, since she took her mother's name, I doubt they were all that close. Who cares? Does this have any bearing on the story later? A very intelligent girl. She loves history and arcane languages. I guess working for the church like her mother was too boring a profession. Fair enough. I'm aware that my words are scrambled rambling. I just needed to talk to you. I miss you, old friend, and I await the day that we can see each other again. I've just received word that the new students have finally arrived, so I guess this draws my letter to a close. Weren't you waiting on... I thought the school year started, like, tomorrow or something. All professors and magistrates must stand alongside the headmaster to greet the newcomers, per tradition, of course. However, I will not be joining them. A fortnight ago, I received word that I should keep my eye on one of the new students. It is not that I received the letter that bothers me, but from whom it was sent. I'll talk to you again soon, my friend. And that was Chapter 0. Or, you know, bucket of exposition. I really hope that the rest of the book isn't like this. I really hope that was actually just prologue exposition. So, we'll get to see Chapter 1, Enrollment of the Third Son, next time. See ya.